Big Daddy C blocks power, got the streets devoured. Gold chains glisten in the hour, flow like a sizzling shower. Spit fire like a dragon, crews left staggering. Imagining the habit, check it, Big Daddy moving, calculating the scheme. Rough neck, no bleeding, hardcore last gleam. C block dominion, pure raw strength in the kitchen.
All right, all you monkey fingers know what time it is. The C Block and Media Virus podcast. We got a full house today. We got Big Daddy, of course, because it is the C Block. We have Grease Monkey Pete, and joining us is our interview from the last segment from our B Block. Vic Legina is. Why did I say it so bad? Vic Legina is joining us today. Thanks for coming in, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course, sounds like a fun segment. I couldn't miss it.
Yeah, so we're just gonna go around. How you doing, Big Daddy? How was improv?
Doing all right. We have a couple of shows coming up. First one is going to be at the Wilmington Brewwork. No, that's not right. Wilmington Chancery Market. You can go to ctc.org for more information about that. And towards the end of August, with 2 dates to be determined, we will be appearing at the brand new Chapel Street Theater.
Wow.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes, sir.
So, but we don't have dates locked down for that.
I forget what they are, so I'm just gonna go with to be determined. You can go to Chapel Street's Facebook page or Forgetful Squirrels on Facebook or YouTube or MySpace and the Facebook and what's that one?
Instagram,
TikTok.
Yeah. We're on all the socials.
My ass.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're on myass.com.
Now we're going to move on to Pete. Still giving hand jobs for $15 a man under the bridge.
No, remember you took over that shift.
That's terrible. You got to get a better comeback than that.
If
Pete.
you're both here, who's jerking guys off under the bridge?
Yeah, both here.
No, I got that homeless bricklayer. He's taking care of it. But let's because we had Vic on in the last segment, and Big Daddy is our resident I guess pornography connoisseur.
Mm-hmm.
We you want to know.
If you have any questions, Big Daddy, for Vic that you think we didn't cover.
How close to a man's balls do you actually have to get to film a good scene?
I mean, 3 feet is about as close as you're going to get. Remember, you got a camera right holding here, so that plus about another 1.5 feet, I'd say, would be the optimum.
And you ever get splashed with like ball sweat and all that fun stuff?
No, I've gotten like squirt on my toes because I wore flip flops. That was
why would you wear flip flops?
Yeah, why?
Because it's Vegas, man. It's hot. It's very hot.
You see a porn director walking around in like a Morton's fisherman outfit and rain boots. Like, it's not hot, dude.
Yeah, no, that day I misjudged, but it's part of the job. You rub some dirt on it, you get back in the game. You just move on.
I mean, isn't squirt just pee though?
Yeah, actually, it is. It is. There's a whole section in my book in Vic Legina's School of Porn, lesson 6, I believe, squirt or pee, where I actually cite a study where they injected a dye into the bladder of a woman. That's how they were able to tell whether or not it came as if it was pee or if it was actual something else. So there is a little bit of urine in it. That's for sure.
A little bit, but it's not all urine.
Well, on some of the shoots I did, yeah, it was clearly urine, smelled like urine, was yellow like urine. And yeah, that was the trick. They would pee instead of actual squirting. Yeah, spoiler alert, not all squirters can actually squirt. It was a fugazi.
Well,
Yeah, sometimes it tastes like squirt, and other times it is clearly pee.
Yeah, do you know that Pedialyte is the unofficial sponsor of squirt scenes in porn? Where I would have girls literally drinking tons of it. It was on this one squirtathon shoot I did, and these girls were doing some pretty disgusting things with that fluid. And I asked them, I said, "Okay, so you drank all this Pedialyte. How does it taste?" And they go, "It's sweet like candy." So shout out to Pedialyte.
I'm sure that is definitely the shout out that they're hope Pedialyte, a drink designed to keep children alive during a fever.
Yep. But also used.
And their thumbs up from Vic Legina.
Exactly.
And now I'm wondering if we can just get some cashola for this.
Some sponsorship.
That's right. But we have a little breakdown of the porn industry today, or the state, or what's this? The Spank Report on the Adult Industry Spotlight is what
Is that how they named it?
That's what you called it, yes.
Well, welcome back, Virus Fan. This week, the adult film world's been flipping scripts, tragic losses, political brawls, and boundary-pushing releases, all making up the scene.
First off, the community is mourning the heartbreaking loss of Sophia Leone, a star who lit up screens and hearts. Details are still murky, but the shockwaves are real. Fans and fellow performers are calling for better protections and transparency because behind the scenes, it's not all lights and cameras.
Respect to Sophia, gone too soon. Here's hoping the industry takes this as a wake-up call for health and safety. I don't know why, but...
Well, I don't know. Well, meanwhile, adult actors are gearing up to flex some serious political muscle. 17 bold performers. They couldn't find one more just to give it a better. 17 bold performers, $100,000 ad blitz on major adult sites targeting swing states like Michigan and Arizona with a no BS message, hands off my porn. It's a direct middle finger to Project 2025, a conservative blueprint aiming to ban porn and criminalize the folks who make it.
Holly Randall called it the scariest threat she's seen in 25 years. And yeah, if they pull this off, it's lights out for a whole industry that keeps millions entertained and employed.
Not to mention they're focusing on the biggest consumers, guys 18 to 49, who've basically made streaming porn their cardio.
On the lighter side, stars like Emily Willis and Anna Claire Clouds are hustling hard. Willis with merch, Clouds stepping behind the camera. These folks aren't just performers, they're entrepreneurs, carving out new empires.
Well, studios are also getting wild with VR and interactive content. Did you do any VR work, Vic?
No, I didn't. Those are tricky ones to pull off because the dude is laying on his back the whole time. So you need a guy who's like this all the time. And you have to be in a room because the camera's got like cameras all over it. Right. You have to be in not a special room, but you can't have like overhead lighting grids like I had in my studio. You need like a regular room and with enough space to do it. Not easy shoots to pull off.
No, but that's the way they're going. They're trying to independents are building direct fan connections like never before. The adult biz is evolving faster than you can say clickbait.
And with the legal landscape heating up, everyone's watching Project 2025 like it's the next season of Stranger Things. The industry's not backing down. They're organizing, fighting, and innovating to keep their lights on.
I mean, not for nothing. I go to all the meetings, dude. You know what I mean? And even under white hoods, there's no mention of it. 2025. It just doesn't come up, dude. I don't understand. Well, but as we remember Sophia Leone, let's also salute the resilience of this community, standing tall in the face of challenges and pushing forward no matter what.
That's the story for now. Stay tuned because the adult world's got plenty more surprises coming.
I mean, how much? It's not really that surprising. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking. The penis goes in something. There's no surprises. It's just different formats and But when we talked about the evolution of, of pornography from, to
I mean,
talking about the good old days from finding it in the woods,
or
from having to acquire it from a store or something.
see, when I was but a young lad, my father worked the night shift at an auto assembly plant, and they would have things that they passed around, and sometimes he'd forget and leave them in the VCR. I got to see all kinds of weird shit from a young age. But like that was back in the 80s. So there was like porn was feature length, and there was usually some ridiculous plot that didn't always follow through very well.
I start thinking about some of the porn, like pre-internet, the porn that we watched.
Yeah.
And you have to think to yourself, like, I think some of it was just pure novelty. Because there was this one, it was like this girl was supposed to be able to perform, auto cunnilingus. Right. But it was just obvious that she had this robotic tongue in her mouth. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like she's not saying anything. She's looking up at you like this.
There are other practical effects that are just as effective.
Well, I'm just, I think that it was, we definitely watched it from out of novelty, but I don't know if it was made for novelty. Like if it's just like, let's make this stupid fucking thing, or is it like, this is hot to somebody? You know what I mean? That's my question sometimes. Like, who's this hot to? Yeah.
Do you remember the first porn you ever watched?
I do. It was one of those old feature length deals. It was called Hot Rackets.
Hot Rackets.
And was this a tennis themed showcase?
It was. There was various people jogging back and forth with tennis rackets from time to time.
All right.
I don't remember what it was called, but the opening scene was this. It was like, imagine a 70s, like, watching VHS, that type of quality. It's a Mercedes, one of the full-size four-door Mercedes driving down this winding gravel road, right? And then as they're following the Mercedes, and then as they pass, there's a woman sunbathing nude on a brick wall. You know what I mean? And it's like, why is that woman sunbathing nude in it's like Scotland or some shit? It was like castles. Why are you sunbathing?
The sun barely ever comes out there.
That was my point. Like, it was just I don't remember what it was called, but I remember that's how it started out, and then it was just a lot of lesbian scenes. And I remember, you know what I miss, kinda, not totally, but kinda,
pubes,
like softcore porn.
Oh
God, yeah.
The stuff where it's obvious, like there's no way that position works.
Yeah,
right.
But they're still going at it like as if it, but it's like, and you get close ups of the skirt just kind of coming over the hind quarter and going down. Man, those were fun. Like Cinemax at like fucking 3 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I became actually a better shooter shooting the softcore stuff because you have to get really good at zooming and focusing and panning and avoiding the parts that everyone wants to see. So I became a better cameraman shooting that shit
because you're not going for you're not looking to see if you can find your kidneys. You're making what some people would consider art.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're going for the art shot.
Exactly, and that's really what it was.
Not that zooming in on, not that being able to actually film conception isn't art, but
yeah.
But I mean, it gets kind of in the trenches sometimes. You know what I mean? Where it's,
Yeah. Art left a long time ago. He walked out the door a long time ago in my career. Going back to some of the things you were talking about, Project 2025, I think that's all horseshit. I think it's all scare tactics. I think that there's been a concerted effort to try to get rid of porn. And now you have to understand something too. The whole banning of porn, that's not exactly true. What's happening is, and I like to correct people on this, is that there's age verification laws. We discussed in the previous segment that it was very difficult for us to get porn before. Now it's very easy. So now they're at the point where they're doing age verification laws. And a lot of times people don't want to put their IDs in, which in turn...
I don't want to put my fucking ID in X Hamster, for fuck's sake.
I get it.
Do that!
I get it. However, in implementing that, their traffic goes down tremendously. So Pornhub has decided to not comply with the law and therefore ban access.
Wait,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. So now the answer is VPNs, as we all know. No.
I mean, I don't.
Let's not pretend that Uncle Sam doesn't already know what you're into.
Right. That's the truth.
Dude, the NSA has been swallowing up this feed and everything that goes into your computer for years.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when we used to drink on the air. Remember that?
Good times.
Somebody who's going to be they're going to be beaten off a lot better. I mean, dude, think about it. Every time you jerk off, you're getting a hand job because it's somebody else's hand. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hang on.
It's not me. It's not my mom.
There you go.
He was just 12 when he lost his hands. He barely had a couple of good jerks in by 12.
No, dude, nothing comes out 12. It might feel good, but nothing happens. I don't know how to express that in words. That gratitude, said Luka Kriznik, who underwent a double hand transplant 17 years after amputation. I like how Big Daddy doesn't laugh nearly as hard when I try to pronounce like Russian and Polish words as when it's like Japanese or Korean.
It's the way you pronounce it. That's not my fault.
A 29-year-old man who successfully undergone a double hand transplant, a procedure hospital staff are referring to as a medical marvel, 6 years in the making. Luka, I think it's Kriznik from Zurich, or maybe it's not because it's Switzerland.
Grizanik.
What's that?
12
12 years old when a major infection, damn it, that was treated incorrectly led to a multi-organ failure and severe sepsis. In order to save his life, doctors had to amputate parts of his arms. And that's fucking horrifying.
Isn't it?
Considering I just had my toe amputated in January, it's terrible. Over the years, he relied on prosthetic legs that served him well. However, he often struggled with his prosthetic hands. Yeah, I'd imagine. You get splinters.
Yeah, I suppose you would.
Yeah. Especially, or start a fire.
Wait, so he has prosthetic hands and prosthetic legs?
Well, right, yeah. But the prosthetic hands, which were unable to replicate the movement of real hands.
You ever try to rub one out with a hook?
It hurts. I have watched a one-armed man roll a joint, though.
You keep bringing that up.
Wow.
Dude, it's amazing. Have you ever watched a one-armed man roll a joint?
I have not.
Never.
Boom. You know what I saw today? Apropos of absolutely nothing. Because I always, anytime I've been at my absolute lowest, I always seem to happen across a three-legged dog. And when I see a three-legged dog, they're always the happiest fucking dog you've ever fucking seen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, today I saw a three-legged cat. was not the case.
Oh,
I
cats
was
are-
pissed off.
handy cats are ignorant. If you think regular cats are assholes, you get I got something for you. Handy cats are just pissed off at life.
And it was the worst part was like it was his hind like right leg. So he was having a hard time walking. The look on his face, I like locked eyes with him because he was about to go attack the car. Like it was but people usually struggle to understand how much they do with their hands. Sorry. And I don't mean just practical stuff, just like basic surviving as humans. Even in today's modern world, Krishnak told Penn Medicine, as much as you try to build the comfort and confidence without hands, you're always with someone assisting you. As much as you love them, as much as you care about them, you never have the chance to do any of it on your own, which ties into the fact that you're also not able to fully develop as a person. Is he shaking?
Or just go
Those
rub
hands
one
look
out by
awful
yourself.
small.
What?
Do his hands look small?
Yeah. I mean,
What, did they kill a child for those hands?
I guess they did the best they could.
Wait, they're on backwards. No.
What's the chance that you're going to get perfectly sized hands? I mean, they had a lot to correct for. They even gave him the option on race. I mean, they gave him
I was just gonna say that.
The article specifically says that they took the time to find him white hands.
Nah, because if they put black hands on them, it'd be like fucking throwing a hot dog down a hallway. He's used to stroking black hog, dude. Can't do that to the guy, right?
I mean, if they were in fact child's hands, would that then make him a pedophile?
All right. Why?
Because he's been good for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Admittedly, it's been a few weeks since I've said it.
Well, good luck to him. I hope that because I like a lot of those transplants they reject after a while, right? But he seems to have full use.
Yeah. They, in fact, I think the article mentions that he was starting to get feeling.
Well,
oh, that's disappointing. It's great if he could move without the feeling. Big Daddy, why am I making all the jokes, dude?
You get a stranger.
I was thinking,
right jokes.
I was thinking, does it have fingerprints? And if it has fingerprints, are they his?
Well, they're his
They are
now.
Oh.
Yeah. I wonder if they didn't get him. If they didn't get him fingerprinted before, he probably never had fingerprints before.
Good point.
Damn, this guy was untouchable.
All right, well, moving on. For some reason, one of us, I don't know who submitted this story for consideration, but wanted to take a deep dive into why marathon runners poop an extreme amount. And I'm assuming Big Daddy has some, being the athletic one.
This is his story, yeah.
I did submit that. I thought it was very apropos for your new hobby.
I figured that's why you submitted it.
Okay, well, I'm not looking to run marathons. I've just taken up like exercising and trying to running and stuff. I
figured it covers the things that you really enjoy: shitting yourself and running.
Shitting myself and running. You shit yourself one time.
No, wait, that was Mike. I mean, the professor.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I'm sure everyone has a moment where they've been on antibiotics
or Molly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We don't.
Molly's made me shart many a time.
Now, yeah, we were talking in the other first segment with you, Vic, and you were saying how much you enjoyed going to music festivals,
Mhm.
and music festivals and Molly often go hand in hand.
Yep.
So, is that why dudes at music festivals smell so bad because they've shit themselves?
Well, I think you were talking about wooks. Ever hear of, like, the wooks?
I
The
think
wooks, yeah. They live in the woods, and and intense, and they don't bathe regularly. So yeah, they smell pretty bad.
now if they listen to punk rock, we call them crusty kids.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what
Yeah.
the kids that ride the train and shit, and they just stink.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Huh. So it is true that wooks can be deceiving.
now wasn't that funny? Why
You guys are on fire today.
in 2016, French walker Johan Diniz soiled himself and heroically continued, and was
I
able
don't
to.
know if
Walking.
heroically is the right word here.
Heroically continued walking.
Wait a minute. No, compared to other athletes, long distance runners and walkers poop themselves an extraordinary amount. And that's where it should have started. In 2016, French walker Johan Diniz soiled himself and heroically continued walking and was able to finish in 8th place. Dude, you shit yourself and only didn't even make the top 3, pussy? Jesus Christ. Despite fainting several times due to gastrointestinal disease, Paul Radcliffe stopped by the roadside during the 2005 London Marathon to relieve himself while cameras caught the whole incident on camera. So while cameras, that's I fucking love science, wrote that sentence. While cameras caught the whole incident on camera.
On camera, huh?
Not on film.
No.
Anyway.
Well, sounds like marathon performers, or marathon runners, and strong and repetitive anal performers have a lot in common. Because they would need to wear diapers after a while.
I gotta tell you, man, that's one of the things. Like I've always known I was hetero, but it's the thing about I'd never wanted to take any kind of like anal play because I don't want to weaken that muscle, man. I like it nice and strong. I've had accidents on my own. I don't need help. You know what I mean? I'll never forget this one time. I was walking home. It was probably like fucking 5th grade. I'm walking home and I realized I got a shit. This had never happened to me before. It was like the first time my mother was ever not home when I got home. And the door was locked. And I'm just banging on the fucking door, crying, and then just a big ball of shit came out of my pants. Like But Julie Moss shit herself too. She entered the Hawaii Ironman triathlon as part of her research for her exercise physiology thesis on why people shit themselves. Unfortunately, lost control of her legs and bowels at roughly the same time.
Oh my God.
The marathon event, which is as messy as you'd imagine. If you need further imaging, it's described the incident as the ultimate giant chocolate mess.
Ugh.
So what is it about the sport that makes so many participants poo their pants? Well, first off, runner's diarrhea, as it's known, is a real thing. A study published in the National Library of Medicine in 1992 asked 109 long-distance runners, athletes, about their bowel movements. We had a study. Why do we need a study on this? Around their the bowel movements around their runs. 62% reported that they had stopped for a bowel movement during training. 43% said that they had nervous diarrhea before a race. 51% said they had experienced diarrhea after a race, and 12% reported full-on fecal incontinence while running.
Oof.
Full-on fecal incontinence is my next bad name.
I was gonna say,
Okay,
put it in-
Fecal income.
Just keep in mind that those are the ones that reported it.
Right. Are you going to tell a scientific journal you shit yourself?
Exactly.
You got to look
I
yourself.
mean,
Lyle
are
Rink.
they paying? You know, like
So the real number is much higher than that.
Mhm.
Often these episodes occurred alongside abdominal pain and rectal bleeding. The study states that any form of runner's diarrhea was unrelated to age, previous intestinal infections, or food poisoning, food allergies, or dietary fiber. So just running makes you shit. A separate study found that 90% of the participants in endurance races experienced some sort of gastrointestinal. Well, I'm not going to go for endurance races then. I don't want to shit
Not that
myself.
there was any danger of me breaking into a run at any time soon, but I'll be making sure that I keep it to a brisk walk.
I mean,
That whole
Even
running thing,
walkers can shit themselves.
ooh,
have
man.
you ever had to poo and decided, you know what, I feel like running right now? No.
No, but I've had to run. I've ran and go, you know what? I have to poo right now.
Yeah, see, it's the other way around. You're running,
Yeah, no.
and then you're like, wait a minute, I better slow down, like, because
Yeah.
things are happening.
Knock something loose.
Yep.
As for the cause, it's a mixture of factors. During physical exercise, the increased activity of the sympathetic nervous system redistributes blood from the
Yes.
splanchnic organs,
Splanchnic.
Splenic.
splenic.
No,
That's an
it's Splanchnic.
Maybe it's supposed to be splank organs to the working muscles. One review suggests a severely reduced blood flow to the abdominal gastrointestinal organs may frequently cause GI or gastrointestinal ischemia,
Ah,
a condition which causes the symptoms of diarrhea and abdominal pain, among others. On top of that, runners may find it difficult to control their anal sphincters while they work so hard on their other muscles. Someone in the middle of a strenuous activity, it's really hard to voluntarily keep muscles closed while engaging in other activities with the muscles in the legs and the pelvis.
You ever notice it's harder not to shit your pants when you're trying to not shit your pants?
When you're trying to not shit your pants, it's almost impossible.
Mhm.
When I'm not thinking about shitting my pants at all, no problem.
I shit my pants constantly.
Shit in your pants. Pennsylvania can now.
Turns out the secret to shitting your pants.
Well, if you shit your pants in PA, you can conceal it with your gun because you can.
That's the best way to do it. You guys, you ain't seen nothing.
According to Attorney General Dave Sunday, the two states signed a reciprocatory agreement. Pennsylvanians can now carry concealed firearms in Virginia.
Okay.
According to Attorney General Dave Sunday, the two states signed a reciprocal agreement this week, allowing holders of licenses to carry firearms in both states. So if you have a license in Virginia, you can carry in PA. Yeah, vice versa. Now my son's got a PA license, right?
Yes.
But there's no reciprocation with New Jersey
At all. New Jersey doesn't reciprocate with any state, I don't think.
New Jersey sucks.
No, New Jersey is all about getting money for all of their licensure.
Licensure. The memorandum between the two states only applies to handguns and require permit holders to be at least 21 years of age, carry photo identification, display the concealed carry permit when asked by law enforcement, not have a concealed carry permit previously revoked. Yeah. So that's the
news.
That's what we had so lined up.
Okay.
Anybody else? Anything they want to bring up?
Field trip to Virginia.
Field trip.
The downside is that you have to go to Virginia.
Well, yeah.
You know what I figured out? That if you're ever driving around that area and you're wondering if you're in Virginia or if you're in West Virginia, if roads with steep cliffs have side rails, you're in Virginia. If the roads with steep cliffs don't have side rails, you're in West Virginia.
It makes sense.
That's how. Dude, you hear Barry Manilow's? He's going to stop performing. Did you know that Barry Manilow still performed?
I
At the Westgate.
Wait,
At the Westgate in Las Vegas. Yeah.
He very recently performed on the East Coast a couple of weeks ago.
Oh wow!
Oh, how much for tickets?
Because I had
a good time.
And the reason I know this is because I had a couple of
Tickets.
people that I work with who told me about the concert that they went to.
Right.
Sure.
And they said it was really good.
Did they tell you that you had a really good time? Barbara Streisand was in the news too. Speaking of people I don't give a fuck about.
Really?
What was she? Oh, she was. Okay, yeah. She's still. She's still holding on to whether or not she fucked Warren Beatty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we still care about that.
Not really. But it was just, again, in the world of shit, in the world of people I don't give a fuck about.
Is Warren Beatty still alive?
He is.
Oh shit! All right.
Who knew?
I know. Yeah, I would have remembered that one if he died. I mean, he's getting up there, and he's still married to Annette Bening, but
We just lost. This past week, we just lost Brian Wilson.
Yep.
From the Beach Boys.
Yeah, that's.
I just saw another one today. I can't remember. Oh, Amber.
Yeah, the lady for the Super Saiyan cook.
Yeah, she was like 55, cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Apparently
that was the cause.
Yeah, she probably, I guess, not eating well.
That may have been it.
Yeah. A lot of fats and butters.
Who was that? Pauline?
No, Amberelle.
Who's that?
She was the one with the white hair.
It doesn't help.
That wasn't Paul Dean.
Oh, the one that wasn't. Was she real fat too?
She was a little chunky.
She was a chunky girl.
Was she the one they brought in when Paula Dean started to get racist?
I don't think so.
No. Alex, remember when Paula Dean got racist?
Yeah, it was a big thing.
Everybody
the idea of Paula Dean being racist is funny because she taught me how to fry chicken.
But like she, and that's the thing though, is that she's back to where she was famous again.
You can't taste racism, Stanley.
No, you can. It's delicious. It's fucking delicious. That was I heard that joke somewhere. TikTok. All right. Anybody got anything else before we close for the evening?
I think that's about it for me.
All right. Vic, thank you so much for hanging out, joining us, and
Of course.
you're not even on the fucking screen. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm at the bottom, I think. Oh, I see myself there.
Oh,
Well, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was a pleasure.
yeah.
Always.
And hey, man, if you ever, we do this every Wednesday night. If you ever want to, come on, just hit me up.
All right.
I really appreciate your time, and thanks, man. And
We appreciate your service.
I called him an American hero. I said that
Not all heroes wear capes.
he's done
Some
the
of them-
work.
Exactly. You've done the work of the Lord.
So
Well,
some of them get squirt on their toes.
Yes, I'm holding out to be a postage stamp one day. So let's try to make that happen.
So you can lick Vic Vagina.
Exactly.
There's your marketing campaign. Lick Vic.
Yep.
Lick Vic, I love it.
That's perfect. Awesome.
All right, but I think that's it for us. Thanks to Vic. You can listen to his audiobook on Spotify. You can go to viclagina.com to get a signed copy of his book. Just order his book. Filthy. Yes,
Filthy.
sorry.
Filthy.
It's late and I'm getting stupid. I apologize.
Let's go.
Check out the book Filthy.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you.
All right. Bring us home, Mike.
Here we go. This episode of the Media Virus Podcast is brought to you by 302-46-VOICE. That's 302-46-VOICE. If you want my voice on your project, dial 302-46-VOICE today. Don't forget to check out our sister show on the Media Virus Podcast Network, Stepmoms Without Children. Join Ricky Rockdeff as she takes a deep dive into the fascinating people she meets and thinks that you should meet too. Find Stepmoms Without Children at themediavirus.com, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your fine podcasts. Special thanks to mysportsreports.com and delawaresports.com, delivering regional sports coverage straight to your devices via stream and podcast. Learn more at mysportsreports.com and delawaresports.com. If you wish to sponsor the Media Virus Podcast, email your contact information to pml@themediavirus.com with the subject line sponsor, or leave us a message at 646-VIRUS01. On behalf of the infection team and our feckless leader, Maddie Rockdeff, I'm the Reverend Professor Mike Latoris, coming to you live high atop Uncle Butch Studios, with one hand firmly on the pulse and the other clawing for a shred of sanity. This has been the Media Virus Podcast. We'll be back next week. Find us at themediavirus.com, on social media, or download us now from your favorite podcast platform.